What's holding me back from getting coaching clients?
Yeah.
It just hasn't been a focus lately. Um, it hasn't. Um, I've just been focused on do how and what that really looks like.
And do you have any
Um,
clients for Do How yet?
well, we're really getting away from that. We've had a couple sales on the book, but that's really the only clients per se, and that's not really clients; they're just customers. Um, and that was another reason why we felt like we needed a pivot at this point, was to make it more concrete on what exactly we're doing. Because a lot of it, at least to us, at least to me, and a lot of it was kind of just like in the air, like what exactly is this? So just trying to make it more concrete on what exactly
I think you guys
we're,
need to
we're
sell something first.
well, what we're working on right now is this. You said sell something?
Yeah.
Yeah, what we're working on right now is a compilation of 50. We'll see if we can get 50 people who have started businesses, um, and outlining specifically how they did it, and then giving five of those away for free in like a report, and then having the upsell be the full 50, um, and giving that away or selling that for $7. And the point of that $7 isn't to make money off of it. The point is to get people to read it. And then throughout the thing, we would
So
have affiliate links.
is it a book?
It would be basically like a really detailed. It could be turned into. I want to turn it into a book eventually, but right now it would basically be just a detailed report of 50 businesses, how they began, the beginning steps on how they started, on how exactly they started.
Right.
Um, Sell it for $7, and then uh, put affiliate links throughout it. And so that's the project really that we're working on at this point. And I'd love to also, with that, include interviews from each person. I'd love to include interviews from each person that would be in it. So
Okay, so the
it's not.
value to the customer is this unique viewpoint of the process of building a
Correct.
business.
Correct. Yep.
And who's your target audience?
Yeah. So I was listening to a webinar earlier, and I was like, wow, this stuff is so basic, but why haven't I, like, when you're in it, it's so easy to lose sight of that. So the target audience is that person who wants to create that business, but they're still uncertain exactly what does the process look like, and we want to give them all these examples of how people have gone about it, um,
Okay.
to basically inspire them on ways to go about it.
So
Hi, Eric.
so how are you finding your audience?
Oh man, dude, these are hard-hitting questions. I like this.
Hey, Eric.
You're waking me up. You are waking me up. Finding our audience. Man. I really want to start running Facebook ads, something
But
like that.
how will you
And
know who to target? How will you know if this person is someone you want to take or someone you don't want to
yeah,
even have
it's a
anymore?
good point. Yeah. Me and Daniel we did an interview with Dan Henry, a couple days ago, and he really stressed it doesn't matter how big a list you have. A lot of people tout, oh, I have this big a list, I have this big a list. His viewpoint is he doesn't care how big the list is. It can be small, but if it is active and if they respond to what you have to sell and what you have to give them, then that is worth a lot more than a massive list
Right.
that that doesn't. So who is that exact person? That exact person is someone who has always wanted to start, but they've always been held back by the fear of how to do it. And I know you can. I know we can get even farther down from there. Um,
Okay, so how old are these people?
then I don't know why. My initial thought at first was moms. I don't know why.
And
I'm not sure.
so what I'm trying to drive is that you should have an avatar for your ideal
Hmm.
customer so that you can
I know
speak
it.
to that customer because it sounds very vague right now. Like you want to help people start businesses with this information, and there's so much information in that space already that you're
Yeah, let's
competing
see.
against. So you need to niche focus. Like entrepreneur, or was it Founder Magazine is a is a is basically doing the same thing, right? But they
True.
have a different target market than moms. I think it's mostly it feels very male oriented. And then you have, Forbes magazine or Inc. magazine. Those are big magazines that are giving similar information. So if you can niche focus your to a laser focus, then you can stand out, you know?
Laser focus. Laser. I guess the laser. Yeah, that's a good point. Um, and I was thinking that earlier. I was like, all right, how is this gonna how are we gonna stand out? Like you said, there's so much noise. Um, huh.
I mean, even you can laser focus it
Yeah.
geographically. It could be like only people in Iowa, or it could be like only Republicans in Iowa, or or it could be, only single mothers in Iowa or something. Or then it could be
Yeah, yeah,
psychographic.
yeah.
It could be like people who, love the band The Who. I don't know. But
Well, I
anything
was
you do
thinking.
will focus it so that all of a sudden you're the guy. That there's a guy that teaches people how to raise chickens. He's making
Well,
$1 million. Can you believe it?
true story.
True story.
Wow, wow. Um, but the whole point around it is yeah, to figure out that avatar would is super important. But the whole thing about it is to get people who have already built these businesses to share their knowledge. So I guess what it really comes down to is once we figure that avatar on who we want to go after, or who we want to help, um, that will dictate who we ask
Of course, yes.
to to do that,
And also how
to
you
be in the.
communicate to both audiences.
Mm-hmm. Because my thing is, like, through this, I want to figure out what their mindset was. I
Right.
want to figure out what tools they used, and I want to know what past experiences they had that they
Right.
used to start this business. Those are the three things: the mindset, the tools, and their past experiences. And really analyzing it and really figuring out, all right, how did they do this with those three things? Um,
Right. But man, you need to have a real
mhm.
conversation with your partner and really lock into a target
I
market,
told you I had a.
a
That's
niche.
why I said I was. That's why I was so tired right now, because I was just thinking about this. I was literally the entire day, like for 6 hours, I was thinking about this.
So, Eric, we were just chatting, and I was asking Terrell about what Dewhow's mission
Oh, hi,
is,
Eric.
and that's what we got off into.
Nice, nice. Um,
How
yeah, Terrell, how does that feel to like have that discussion?
does it feel? Feels good. I know it's needed.
You scared me. I was like, is Jenna? I was like, oh, Jenna's not ready to go over here.
Um, it
So
it
I
feels it feels it feels good because I know it's needed.
yeah.
Um,
So when you talk about like niching down, like finding your target niche, like do you have an idea of like where in what direction it is, or like broadly where you want to go?
broadly, yeah, broadly is. Um, I don't want to super broadly is I don't want to have to be the expert. I want to be able to interview others who are the experts, and then to share their knowledge.
Nice.
And
So I have an ulterior motive for
our
asking a question.
oh, please.
So like I have like I guess like a recommendation or like a suggestion, and I'm curious if you're open to hearing it on targeting and like figuring out where your niche is.
Oh, please.
Okay, so something someone told me once was like find your like hungry audience, like your not your hungry audience, your starving audience. So if you think there's an audience out there that right now that's starving for what you have and what you're doing, and like the goal is to find that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like I would say, unless you stumble across it accidentally, and you're okay with stumbling across it accidentally, like it feels like it should be like a methodical, like hit a lot of different things, and see the response is like overwhelmingly positive. Does that make sense?
A little confused.
Okay, so I would say, so how it happened. So it happened to me once by accident, and it was like posting in the Foundation app about copywriting, and I got like 30 responses, way more than I expected. Okay, so that was like the total avatar. The avatar is like people like us that want to learn copywriting for me at the time. Okay. And like hearing, like going through this like 10-day email course. Okay. And the fact that their response was overwhelmingly positive, like and surprising, would like show that they were like starving for what I was offering them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear you.
And like that actually gave me like a lot of clarity and a lot of motivation to keep going on it. So I'm wondering like if you've had that experience yet with this, where you've like put something out and the response has been like overwhelmingly positive or surprisingly positive.
First thing that comes to mind are the two people that read the book. They mentioned two different chapters that they said really impacted them. But that's really the only thing I can think of at this point. Yeah.
So I would say go find a starving audience. Go like find it, and now don't stop until you've like found it. And that feels like that should be the niche.
Starving
That's the
audience.
easiest way.
How can I, or how can me and Daniel then incorporate that? Well, the thing I really see do how now is it's really I don't see a lot of money being able to be generated from it.
Mm-hmm.
At least from this point.
Mm-hmm.
I see it as really a way for us to be able at this point just to create this 50 basically case studies of how these businesses they started with their mindset, the tools, and their past experiences they used to start their business, and really just giving that with interviews, hopefully from each 50 of those people, that this avatar that Andrew was talking about can really take this and really grasp it and find a lot of value in it.
So are
yeah.
you the avatar?
What do you
People
mean?
just like you.
I was thinking about that earlier.
So another way,
Might be.
it's basically the same thing that we've been doing with the foundation, right? It's finding the pain in the marketplace and solving that pain. And then I've heard it described as finding the audience that has a bleeding neck because you can patch it up, but they're in desperate straits, you know? They're bleeding.
Yeah.
I need the information now. That's the best kind of audience, right?
Yeah, Yeah, and going back to the original concept of do how is instead of getting stuck on how to do it, just to doing the how, and in allowing almost like providing over these 50 case studies, almost like a framework on how people have just started. So not getting stuck on a whole bunch of questions that people have, like, oh, I'm not technical, I don't know, I'm not tech savvy enough, I'm not creative enough, I'm too old, I'm too young, all of these different thoughts that often go through, or what tools do I use, or I don't have any past experience, this or that.
So it sounds like a motivational, mindset shifting kind of thing.
Yeah.
And who would you want to target in this list of 50? That might be revealing in itself. Who's on that list?
I haven't created it yet. And I was thinking earlier too, like, all right, can it only be super successful business people or entrepreneurs, or could it be, or like, yeah, I guess, but it comes down to like who that avatar is, and then really finding people that they would really connect with, or maybe what it is I find someone who had a software company, I find someone who created a software company. So maybe it's not. So maybe the avatar is the person trying to start a particular business. So maybe I find someone who started a software company, and more or less you create that lead magnet from that draws them in to want to buy the rest of the $7 book, or someone who started a, let's say, clothing company. And if someone's interested in a clothing company, that would really interest them. I don't know if that's too risky of trying to broaden out that much, or maybe you should find 50 people that created a clothing company. Maybe that would be a better thing, like picking one almost industry.
I think that sounds right away. My gut feeling is that that's going to be more valuable to that person. But when you pick it, it has to be something that you are interested in too, because you're going to be spending a lot of time getting 50 case studies in that one industry. So you better love that industry.
I'd pick software then.
Okay.
Because eventually I want to own a piece of software. So it would be something where if I'm interviewing them, I would be genuinely interested in and how they started, because clearly.
That becomes a niche focus.
What was that?
That becomes a niche focus.
I like that, because then maybe I could even share my journey, and it would even push me to start right now. I like that. That actually gets me excited, really excited. Doing software, people who started in software, and what their beginning steps were, their mindset, the tools, their past experiences. That's really exciting actually for me.
And what the future of software is.
And what?
And where the future of software is leading. There's a lot of people feeling it's moving away from apps and moving to robots, bots.
That's true. So what software? I guess when I think of software, I immediately thought of SaaS. But what specific software? Would it not be SaaS? Is it actually? I guess you could even niche down even farther.
Yeah.
Doing just medical SaaS.
Yeah.
And I guess you can niche as far as you really wanted to.
Boy, the further niche you go, the higher the value to someone in that niche, if it's done well, and the further you stand out from the crowd.
Yeah, you could go all the way down to just chiropractic software.
Yes, now you're talking. You're like getting really focused now.
You could go so far down.
Yeah. It makes it so much easier for you to focus on what your value is and then to know the market. There's a language in every different industry. There's different acronyms that everybody uses. I know my wife's in education and she just starts slinging all these acronyms. I'm like, excuse me, I have no idea what you just said. You
Yeah.
know? Like they say PD for professional development. I'm like, what the heck? And it's like a common thing. But that becomes something that's of value if you're speaking the same language of that industry. First of all, if someone's trying to get into that industry and they buy your kit or whatever it is, all of a sudden they're up to speed instantly,
PDF.
right?
Yeah.
Was that helpful?
Yeah. What thoughts do you have, Eric?
I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm sort of seeing like that there's like a continuum or like a scale almost of like being like totally general, where like you're speaking to literally everyone. On the other end, where you're literally trying to speak to one person and that one person's problems. And like it seems like the sweet spot is somewhere in that middle. Is obviously somewhere in the middle, right? Like podcast, obviously you want to talk to more than just one person. So where is it on this end of like the spectrum, right? Where does that like the trade-off between niching down and the higher value to like the smaller group to like a little bit more general to like appeal to a broader audience? And so it's sort of skating that line between too general and too niche. And that's something I've struggled with hugely, huge. Like, I think that's like part of like one of the biggest challenges we have is like, who do we actually want to be talking to? Is it just one person? Is it just this one person's problem? No. Is it like, is it school teachers in Iowa? Probably not. That's too small.
All right, let's talk about copywriting for a second for you.
Okay, sure.
So tell me when you think I've gone too far for niching down. Start super general. Someone who wants, let's just say, copywriting for anything, and then someone who wants copywriting for I don't know where the next niche be.
It's like there's like industries
for software.
Right.
Software.
Right.
Someone who wants there we go. So someone who wants copywriting for software that lives in the U.S. Someone who wants copywriting for software who lives in the U.S. only in the state of California. Someone who wants copywriting for software who lives in the U.S. but only in the state of California. Who is in the chiropractic industry, and they're male. They only want it for.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you there.
For email marketing.
Okay, okay. So I think you started to go down a little bit too specific. So like,
I did. Yep.
Where like I think country is good because like dialect of language. I was writing an email sequence for a guy in our foundation group, Dill, for like people in the UK, and I was like, there's all this stuff that like slang that they use that I have no the greetings and the salutation. I don't know it, so I just guessed, right? So for copywriting, I think it goes like industry, business size, and then what kind of copywriting. So is it email? Is it Facebook ads? Is it like sales letters? Is it websites? Is it branding, or is it direct response? There's some stuff in there, like the function of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where I'm at now. Like I decided to niche into like emails and just try to sell emails. and it seems like there's like all of my work so far has been email. So it seems
Well,
like
but what sort of emails?
there's autoresponders.
Could you niche down even farther than just emails?
Yeah, totally. There's a guy out there, Andre Chaperone, who just does autoresponders.
Wow.
Autoresponder Madness is his product. It's $207. There's probably like launch emails, which I've done. There's like webinar, like sales emails to a list to pitch a webinar, which I'm just sold an email sequence to do that.
Nice.
There's like, yeah, there's probably more. I'm sort of blanking out it right now. But yeah, totally with email, there's definitely niches. And I would love to niche down. I think niching down is like the way to charge more. Niching down and having like results to back it up.
Where do you like to niche down to?
I don't know yet. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Is that what you're stuck with?
I kind of like cold emails because they're short. Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's another one. Cold emails is where I've had a couple conversations with some people, and actually doing a bunch of work on that right now with foundation people. But so do you get like the trade-off between too specific and too general, and trying to find that sweet spot? So what struck me about you talking about chiropractic software is that seems like to me that seems like a pretty small niche. Not chiropractors in general, but people that are selling software to chiropractors.
Maybe it should be just more like medical.
Medical, yeah, or even like if you think about the foundation, like they built a $10 million business on just software, starting software business.
Yeah.
You know, so to me, that's an indication that like that's a pretty good niche right there, just software. And within software, there's software as a service because there's actually a bigger point here that's like software as a service meets exactly the type of like income profile that people like us want, which is passive recurring income. Because it's like we get financial freedom from it. We're not like working in the business 80 hours a week, that sort of thing. It's sort of you build it and you hire the team.
Yeah. Or it could be people who have built lifestyle businesses.
Exactly.
Or that's another option.
Brilliant.
Or people who have like Pat Flynn, who have created these blogs and they've monetized them and they've done this or that.
Yeah.
I definitely see what you mean. Yeah.
Totally. I love that lifestyle business one. I think that's huge. I think that's where the foundation is going, actually. I think they're getting out of software. Or not out of software, but like if you notice their copy, their Facebook ads and stuff, it's less about software these days.
Well, it seems like also so few of the grads are actually making software.
Exactly. So they're paying attention.
Yeah.
But then it comes down to all right, what kind of lifestyle business like do you talk about? Because could you go even deeper than that simply?
I think you could almost choose any niche and as focused as you want to be, because you will always get other stuff coming to you just because you're so focused. For example, I specialize only in teaching kids like music, really preschool kids. But I keep getting questions. Oh, can you take an adult? Can you teach me ukulele? Can you teach? No, I don't have time. But it's funny because it says it right there. But that made you stand out, and then all of other people are coming. I know there's a website now that they just sell used acoustic guitars, and they send out this email, and they just talk about this new guitar came in, and talk about how great it is. those guys are making a fortune, and they're just selling used acoustic guitars. And so I think you can be very specific, and through the power of the internet, attract enough to make your tribe.
Totally.
We're all trying to make our own tribes.
Mm.
So you can turn it into a math problem, like basically like how big do you want your tribe, right? 100 people, 1,000, 10,000, 10,
25,000.
25.
Oh, that's big.
Nice. Okay, so they teach us in the foundation like trying to find a niche that will like give us what we want, right? So like if you imagine you can convert between 1 and 5% of your target niche into your like product. So you can bring them into your tribe.
Mm-hmm.
So you like if you say 25,000, your struggle then is to find a niche that's 25,000 divided by 5%. So it's like I can do the math right now. Well, it's 500,000, I think. Yeah. So something like
Oh man.
chiropractic software. Is there 500,000 people selling chiropractic software?
No.
No.
And that's a pretty generous.
Well, it
conversion.
wouldn't be selling. It wouldn't be selling. It'd be people who would want to create it, but definitely, I don't think not 500,000 people.
Yeah. And more on the error side of caution, you probably maybe convert 1%, and that becomes like 2.5 million now. So I think like that's maybe how you sort of triangulate into how niche you want to get. Is like set the sweet spot on your tribe, estimate like 1 to 5% conversion rate, and see if there's that many people out there. I can help you with the math too.
I love
it.
No, I'll take you up on the math part, please.
Yeah, awesome.
So how did you do that math, Eric? I want 1,000 people in my tribe.
Okay, you want 1,000 people in your tribe.
And I want to estimate a 1% conversion rate.
Right. So you would do 1,000 divided by 1%.
So
or you just you just multiply that by 100.
Right. Okay. Got it. Right. Duh. You can see I'm not a numbers guy.
Eric loves numbers, so.
I love math, dude. I love it.
Oh. Interesting. I gotta figure out where to use that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Boom, 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 boom.
So I was also just thinking when you were talking, Terrell, that if you do create a specific niche product of a training or something like that, that's kind of like a supportive kind of thing, you can actually probably approach Dan and Andy and sell it as part of the course of the foundation. You know?
Baller.
Right? There's more content if it's specific to a specific industry, right? And they're branching out now to realize that not everyone's doing this one SaaS thing. I would think that they would probably looking at that, you know?
Bring you on as like a mentor. Like how many people are mentors now? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Are there a lot now?
I think they've been growing it, but I mean, this is like, I think that might be how they would. Or there might be a way to pitch it, you know, and say, hey, like I've got this thing, I'd love to be a mentor. Like, it's actually helping me out my business. Help out your business.
And I guess the point comes, you can grow it as far as you want. Like, if I create this thing of 50 people who have created a lifestyle business, what's stopping me from then? And I get interviews with those people. What's stopping me from them creating one for coffee shops and then creating one for?
Right.
You just market it differently, but there's nothing that's really stopping you from doing it that way.
You can drill
Um,
down. Yeah.
um, hmm. Yeah, I don't envision or seeing what in actual how you would actually monetize it though. Um, Besides affiliate links, of these are the tools they use and having them scattered here and there. I'm not really sure how you would grasp, because I guess what I see a lot of people doing online is they they say they're the guru, and then they get paid a lot of money and say hey, and then they say hey, see, I was a guru for this, when they've never really done it before. So I really want to harness the the experience of people who have gone through it, and really harness what they have,
So
and
there's a
really
guy called Joe Polish. Have you heard of Joe Polish?
no.
You should look him up. He has something called the Genius Network, and I just started listening to his podcast, which is pretty great. He created. So his story was that he was a drug addict. He was a carpet cleaner. He had a complete shift in mindset after talking to some wealthy guys, and he started realizing and he's a very good people person. So he basically pulled himself up, built all these businesses, but now his main thing is he has this genius network, and you have to pay like 25 grand to come to these conferences where people are doing like little TED Talk type things about business and mindset and everything. That's monetizing basically other people's knowledge. He's not coming across as a guru. He's saying, I've organized the best of the best. You can come to this event. And then he also has like newsletters and I think there's some training courses, but he doesn't actually have to teach them himself. You could do something similar. The Do How annual conference, the Do How quarterly conference, this time in the lovely beaches of the Bahamas.
Yeah, dude. So like the foundation started just because like Dane got people together, or he went on a podcast once, right? And then these like live events that they do, like he's leveraging off his own knowledge, but like he's bringing people together to learn from other people. So like you yourself, your value is the connector. You're the connector. You're doing the research. You're finding these people. You're like anticipating their needs and their wants and their questions and their like insecurities and addressing them. Um, I think the monetization stuff is like when you have the niche and when you have the product or you have like the tribe and you have like the rapport with the tribe, I think the monetization stuff comes naturally.
Because they'll tell you what they want.
Exactly. And asking that question now might slow you down. So it might actually be like counteracting progress, actually thinking about monetizing right now.
I think that's true. Yeah, I think I actually slowed myself down by trying to find these pains without really knowing who I wanted to work with. And then once I decided, then it was easier. That's actually really interesting, Eric, because they didn't really specify that in the foundation. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of like the way my mind works is like I'm trying to think 5 steps ahead. So this is why I brought this up is um, should I do this thing so that in 5 steps I can monetize it?
Right.
And it's like then all this mental energy trying to figure out those 5 steps and predict all these 5 steps, the outcome, which is impossible.
Right. It's so crazy.
It's impossible, right? So it can't be done. It's like literally the mental energy is totally wasted.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not just mental energy, it's time, it's possibly money, it's
Yeah.
like all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I think you should just have fun.
Well, yeah, that's why I think it's important to find an area of passion because you're going to
Yeah.
spend a lot of time in it. I tried to
Yeah.
do that for a while, where I was following this model of building these niche websites based on Google search traffic, trying to serve them what they needed.
Uh-huh.
But man, the subject was so damn boring that it was like painful. I was like, I can't stand this.
Yeah.
You know, it was like,
Yeah.
and I lost a lot of money actually doing that. I don't know.
Oh,
Well, I
I've
guess I
been
learned
there. I've
something.
done that.
Yeah,
I've been there. I've done that. Don't worry.
yeah,
I look forward to doing that someday.
yeah.
To like, yeah, yeah. So it's actually funny, like noticing the advice I'm trying to give you is like advice I actually want to be telling myself.
That happens
Oh,
every time.
I know. I
Everybody
know.
does that.
I
We all
know.
do it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, I've been coaching this young music teacher, and I'm telling them this stuff, and I'm like writing it down myself. I'm like, holy shit, that's what I
Really?
should be doing. It was so funny because he was like, oh, anyway, yeah, it happens all the time, and I think that's important for us to start recognizing that, because then we're like, you almost hear yourself give yourself advice, and you're like, oh, right,
Yeah.
duh.
Yeah.
so so I had mentioned having 50, so having 5 that I'd give away these case studies for free, and then the 50 would be the $7. And the reason for the $7 wouldn't be to make a profit off that. It would simply be because when people pay something, they're a lot more apt to read it. And $7 is $7.
Yeah.
Um,
And you get their email
and
address and their credit card number and like they're buyers with you already. Like totally. There's like
oh,
science behind
true.
it.
Oh, that's true. That it's like the foot in the door, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, that's a good point. So is 50 too big of a goal? Should I just go for like 25? Um, or what would you? Because 50 is a lot, as I think about it.
Try for yeah, I'd say try for 20 and see what you can
Oh,
do with that.
I thought you said 200 at first.
No. Try for 20 and see if you get good conversions
Yeah, I like that. I like
while
that.
you know
Wow, I we
while you're building up to the 50 if you want to be.
gotcha. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wow, I love
And
how we.
you got to be sharing about this process the whole time, otherwise you're not building your audience.
Yeah.
Don't wait until you get 50 and then tell everyone about it. Do it all along
Well,
the way.
You're the first 2 that know about it. So
Yes.
I don't think Daniel even knows about this yet.
Put it on social media, blog about it, blog about how you're about to do an interview with this guy and you're nervous, then blog about how great the interview was, and then, oh, here's the interview. People love to see the process.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
No, I do like that.
And I found a really cool app that's been helping me a lot called Windstreak. It's free. It's called Windstreak. I'll type it in. It's what it is. It's so simple. It's ridiculous. It prompts you once a day. What were your wins for the day? And you write in little wins, and then you can
Nice.
even write in what your wins are going to be for tomorrow if you want. And then you get like this unbroken chain. I'll say, congratulations, you've done 3 in a row, or 3 days in a row. But then you can actually just go back and, it's all about focus. If you keep focusing on what you didn't get done, you feel really bad. But if you look back and you're like, man, I did all these things. This is awesome. It's just like, it's basically that. Remember, I think I told you guys about goal setting. You're looking at the horizon, but if you turn around, you see how far you came. So this is like a
Dude.
little way of seeing how far you came every
Yeah.
day. And I was reading some article the other day about the Navy SEALs, how these guys survive that brutal training. It's like a ridiculous, like 96% dropout in that first 2 weeks of training. And it's like, man, you got to celebrate every small win, even if it's for 2 seconds, just with a smile, and then go on. And I'm digging it. I'm trying to make this uh, my daily habit.
That's, dude, I just remembered like that nugget of wisdom from last week. Look how far the mountain analogy and like
Oh yeah,
not being able to see the top, but you can see everything you've done, the climb that you've made.
yeah.
Like I was going through something last week, a funk of some kind, and that was like that wasn't the peak of it. That wasn't like the tempest or like not the tempest, but like
The
the worst
summit.
part of it. The worst part of it came the next day,
Oh
and
shoot.
what part of like getting out of that was like thinking about that statement and thinking about that analogy.
Oh nice.
And it's like I wrote the post on Facebook about it, like sort of not about that analogy per se, but like the process, and like um posted on like Medium and stuff, and it got a crazy response.
Really?
Yeah, so if you go to like Facebook, you can
I'm gonna
see the
check it out. Yeah.
post. I can send you
Fantastic.
the Medium article. Yeah, I'll send you the Medium article.
All right. Yeah.
I'll put it in this chat here.
That's awesome. I'm
So
so
that like yeah, I just want to like acknowledge you for that. Like that
no,
was
so happy to hear
incredibly
it.
helpful.
I love you, man.
Love you too, brother.
Awesome.
Dude, yeah, I read that and I was like, wow.
All right, I'm gonna
I
read
think I
that.
commented it, and I think I liked
Yeah,
it too.
yeah, totally.
And actually, that's the reason I actually signed up for Medium
Nice.
is because of that. I was like, oh, this looks kind of cool. I'm gonna sign up for this. I haven't posted anything yet. Have you guys ever done Blabs?
No.
No, not yet. You told us
Yeah,
about it though.
you guys should. You should.
Cool.
Man,
I'm gonna read
yeah,
that
man,
book.
I'm super excited. Have you guys read the book Rework by Jason Fried?
I know about it, but I haven't read it.
Okay. Yeah, I bought it. It's good. It's really good. Super short. The chapters, I love how they've crafted how the book is made, and it like there's like the chapters, and then there's like the sub sections of each chapter, and they're only like one or 2 pages long each, but they're like amazing nuggets of like awesomeness.
Cool.
Yeah, highly recommend it.
Nice. So I guess we're at a little bit of a looser structure today.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's sometimes necessary, right?
yeah,
I
definitely.
I was thinking about well my win I have all these wins for the week, but it was like the main thing was that I was telling Terrell before that I'm working out again like regularly,
Nice.
and it's like holy cow, my energy level's so different, and then I don't feel so tired. Like I used to get decision fatigue so fast, and now I feel like I'm still fresh enough to like think about stuff at the end of the day. Whereas before it was just like wipe out, you know.
Hi.
Hi.
Someone home? Oh, and
Alrighty.
Hi. You don't have
Yeah, I'm not home right now.
well, where is home anyway now?
I don't even know, man.
Yeah. All right.
Do you
So
think I could do? Andrew, go ahead
no,
first.
I was just gonna say uh, I'm gonna head off in a second, but if you guys had any burning needs that I can help you guys with right now.
Burning needs. I'm
I'm
definitely
good,
gonna check
man.
out. I'm definitely gonna check out Windstreak. So
Yeah, me
thank you
too.
for that.
I just downloaded it on my phone.
Burning needs. I want to ask you a question before you go. So you said 1,000 people is what was that again?
I want to have 1,000 people on my list in my tribe that are hanging on to my every word.
Okay, in your tribe. Okay, and so how much people do you have to in your audience do you have to reach then to get that
100,000.
like
100,000.
100,000? Okay,
Yeah.
what? There's definitely that many people out there for
Oh
this.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So what's the next step to reach that next? Let's just say 1,000.
Yeah.
To like what's the next step? Is it I don't know if because ultimately it's traffic and it's what are you putting out there to attract them,
Yeah.
and then
Well, I
some of them will
actually
stick, some of them won't.
I actually am guest blogging at 2 different places now besides my own blog, and one of them just went live today, and I just saw like 5 or 6 people just join my mailing list tonight. So I'm gonna hopefully do more guest blogging, and next is gonna be probably looking to do interviews, like radio interview type things, or podcast interviews. But it's going along pretty well. I hired a video editor today, so I'm gonna finish the course before mid-February, which is next 2 weeks, and then start pushing for a launch of a real launch this time, March 1st.
It's cool. It's cool. Um, no, that's so cool. I thought you were gonna say blabbing, and I was about to get super excited.
Well, I have to look into that too. So, um,
I can walk you through it. It's super simps.
yeah, I'm trying to, because I have so limited time. I'm trying to figure out what's the
Yeah,
best bang for my buck.
I was gonna ask you how much time do you have each day to do this?
Probably have about 3 to 4 hours every day,
Okay.
and I'm really learning how to delegate better. Um, that new video editor is going to take a huge thing off my plate. So I'm trying to leave myself only writing, thinking, and recording videos as my main activities. Eventually adding public events, public speaking. So that's my sweet spot. I took the Colby test, and I just totally realized that I need to hire somebody who's kind of like my opposite to help me do all the finishing things. But it's um, it's moving along faster now. Yeah, the whole morning routine has greatly helped.
Yeah, it's almost like you need you're right now you're just in the beginning phase of figuring out, all right, where did the best leads come from? And once you find that,
Yeah,
just then just cranking the faucet open
yeah, yeah,
and then letting them
yeah.
come in.
It's
So
surprising
it's
me how much LinkedIn is seeming to become the channel, which I didn't think it would be. But it's seeming I'm getting a lot more activity there. Facebook seems to be too leisure time focused, whereas when people see my stuff, it's more of you're at work time kind of thinking. At least my articles are that way. So that's me.
cool. Is there cool? Yeah, I'm excited to that point when you you get to where you realize this place generates the exact type of leads I want, and you can just crank it open.
Yeah, it's
I'm
coming.
excited.
That's coming. I think the as soon as I'm going to start an affiliate program in the next week or so, and start approaching a few. There's not a lot of bloggers in this music education space, but there's a few that I can approach that maybe would be open to selling my stuff.
Nice.
That's wonderful.
All right. So I will see you guys next Tuesday.
Next week.
You betcha.
All right.
Sounds
Have
good.
a great week. And
Thanks for all your input, Andrew.
oh, yeah,
Really,
Yeah,
sure.
thanks, Andrew.
yeah, I really liked it. So
Lots of wins. All right.
yeah, I didn't feel like I had any coming into this call, but my spirits have been lifted a lot. So
Good. All right.
call perfect. Cool. All right, bye, Andrew.
All right. Good night.
Night. Anything
What's up,
else? Yo. What else can we talk about? I love how I've just really completely pivoted to how it's actually so agile. That's what
Yeah.
that book was talking about too. How it's so agile. It's only 60 days old, so heck, in how you can just pivot, and you can basically just take things out, and you can add them back in later if you want. But yeah, it's all about pivoting at certain points. So I guess we'll find out if it pays off.
Totally, man. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I've got to jump on another call. I actually don't
Okay.
know if I have to. I'd have to ping this guy to see if he wants to chat now. He said he wanted to. So I'm gonna have to jump off too.
Yeah, I think it'd be
But,
cool if we'd also get people like we're talking about to come on as a hot seat. I think it'd be
yeah.
I'd love it. I saw you had someone who was interested.
Yeah.
I think
I always forget this like call comes up. It like comes up like super fast. So I'm gonna hit him up. Like, I'm gonna make a note to check in with the group to see if they're open with it. Yeah, we can get a yes no
yeah.
for that, and then like, yeah, get your friend on there. Get my friend on there. Go from there.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, anyone who's watching this, if you're interested in coming on as a guest, into the hot seat, how should they let us know?
Facebook, one of us.
Yeah. So if you go to awesomestmastermind.com, under who we are, you'll see our Facebook profiles. There'll be a link there, and you just Facebook one of us. Be like, hey, I'm interested in coming on as a panelist in the hot seat, and then we'll get back to you. So like that. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Hey, see you,
Bye.
Terrell.